All right, folks, we are back here. Folks, we are back. Folks, we are back here from the laboratory in Hatboro, Pennsylvania for the 172nd edition of CodeName Bears. Here on twitch.tv/Clash Tournaments. I am BC East 2, the announcer. Thank you so much for joining us here. And what you just saw was some dude just deleting Gonz's tag right off the system. That is, well, borderline disrespectful, gotta say. There's a very good chance that the Great Gonzalez could go deep in this tournament, but then again, you have talent like 6WX and Juice and GWJ, of course, who's been very successful in the early goings of this game. You never know who's going to make it out of these pools, and frankly, last week was one of the craziest brackets that we have seen here in quite some time. Certainly the craziest that I've seen from any sort of round robin, outside of round robin pool play. Where we saw people like Delhi. We saw people like Delhi in losers in a winners semifinal action. And I wish I could pull that bracket up right now, but joining me, one of the crazier things that we saw was the opening match of last week, where we saw my guest on commentary at this time pull off a 3-stock comeback. I'm talking, of course, one of your favorite streamers and, of course, mine, Lyric of Wisdom. Lyric?
Really?
Yeah,
favorite?
Of course.
Oh my god, I'm honored to be commentating with you, Stu, one of the up-and-coming commentators of this region.
As that was far too big a compliment for someone like myself, but I do appreciate it, and of course we appreciate you joining us here for the 172nd edition of CodeName Bears, Aidan versus Undead Fusion. Starting us off, another DDD main here. Now you're familiar with DDDs, of course. You're right here.
I'm actually familiar with this matchup. I actually saw this matchup live on Tuesday. Now, this matchup is very interesting because Gordo and Shuriken really cancel each other out, and I think Gordo is one of those projectiles that if you don't know what to do with it, it's you're kind of screwed, for lack of a better word.
No, you're not wrong, and that's one of the things that, of course, it looks like Fusion is going to have to deal with here. As, of course, he's down a stock. And I gotta say, suspect DI on the first one perhaps just was not ready for what, oh my gosh, for what Aidan is throwing out at him.
Right, exactly.
And he's just not able to get in. We could be seeing a 0 to death here, but of course, the commentator's curse and that Gordo breaking that possibility right up. However, Aidan, I mean, just dominating the stage control game at this point.
A lot of Greninja's like aerials and hitboxes are kind of just very tilted, slanted, very interesting. And DDD's kind of a big body. So DDD's going to get hit by all of these up tilt combos, these forward airs, all of them.
And now, Undead Fusion trying his best to space out Aidan, who just has no reason to respect the space that Undead Fusion is trying to get himself. And oh my gosh, he was looking for the, I don't know if that's a kunai or whatever, but either way, that's a dead DDD to follow that right up. That's let's call that GameStop because that's a bad trade.
Right. And I think in this matchup, though, like what Aidan is doing right is that he's kind of snuffing Fusion, kind of not giving him a chance to set up Gordos, kind of not giving him a chance to really breathe. And that'll be game one. That
will, in fact, be game one. Aidan will go up 1-0. Undead Fusion has a lot of questions that he's going to need to ask himself here. Specifically, what is his game plan here against Aidan, who, I mean, from pillar to post, it looked like his game. And frankly, he made Undead Fusion play like it was his game. I mean, and that's not to take anything away from Aidan, who played solidly enough. I mean, you don't just go... you don't just get 6% on your second stock or whatever by doing poorly. But at the same time, something needs to be done on Fusion's part.
I think he needs to use more aerials, more DDD up air, which is really good at catching people out. So when Aidan's recovering, Fusion needs to throw out those up airs, throw out those nairs. Nair especially. I don't think we even saw one nair, and that's DDD's probably best aerial.
Kind of makes you wonder if it's on-stream jitters.
Could be. Very well could be. It's kind of intimidating to play. You know, it doesn't look like it from your screen, but it's on like a stage. People are watching. There's multiple monitors around the room. Not a lot of people are used to that type of attention when playing Smash.
Some people just aren't made for the spotlight like you are, Lyric. It's what can you say?
I don't know.
I mean, come
Listen,
on, that was
I was scared last week. I don't know.
That was
I
a
wouldn't even
nuts
say.
comeback, though.
All right,
come on, you
listen.
have to give yourself a little bit of credit because
I'll give myself credit, but it was scary. Like, I was shaking. That's the reason why I popped off so hard, was because I was, one, happy that I won, and two, happy it was over. But we're sticking with DDD Greninja, which I think is kind of smart. But he just needs to use more Nair, needs to grab him.
Needs to play a smarter game. Needs to play that typical DDD stuff that we're used to seeing from people like Adamisk, who you're familiar with.
Right.
And what does he do so well, in your opinion, that makes him such an effective DDD? Aside from just nairing and using his aerials properly.
What Fusion is doing better right now, and what Adamisk usually does, is the using DDD's neutral B, which is actually really good. It's a good command grab. But what I notice now is that Fusion is doing a lot more air dodge, which is good, to get out of Greninja combos.
And kind of have to, even though air dodge not necessarily the best option you have in this game. However, he will get up smashed. And Aidan, he's going, practice those short hops while you can.
Right.
Yeah, you need your fundamentals if you're going to go deep in this bracket. And who's to say that Aidan can't? But then again, you're facing people like DDDs, in fact, like Deli, Chia, and Adamisk in this bracket. You're definitely going to need every single advantage that you can get, and of course the grasp on the fundamentals certainly cannot be lost to you, as those Gordos coming out. Fusion spacing himself out much better this time around.
I think also, but Fusion, I think Fusion needs to play a little bit more like aggressively. He's kind of just waiting for Aidan, which is smart, but it also gives Aidan time to set up, get those charged shurikens, and that was a really great first stock, but my opinion still stands.
Fair enough, but then again, right back. I mean, that's what you get for playing Whack-a-Frog, Undead Fusion, says Aidan. And he will take stock number 2 off of Undead Fusion. Now, all of a sudden, on his winner's side stock, Aidan doing pretty well for himself thus far. And again, maintaining stage control. Undead Fusion, again, looking like he's just running out of ideas very, very quickly. Aidan having his way with him. He is playing this matchup perfectly right now.
Right.
Oh, but he makes a slight mistake. He faces the wrong way. And
I also don't think I've seen Fusion try and swallow Gordo and spit it back out yet. I don't think I've seen it. Maybe it has happened, but definitely need to start doing that.
I have not seen it myself, no. And oh my, right behind him, and there you go, a kick to the chest, and Aidan slams his way into the next round, 2-0 to the Greninja main.
I really think it was just more of a confidence thing. Like, Aidan just played a lot more confident. He